Sure. Just what does it mean to not only win this award but win it for a record fifth time?
Yeah, it's definitely an honor. I think I'm humbled. That's the first word that comes to mind. It's it is an individual award, but obviously it's you can't get any of those without the help of all your teammates. And I've said that in my acceptance speech is like there's so many people to thank, and they're the reason why. I've been fortunate enough to play on great teams and to win 5 Selkes and yeah, it goes to them obviously. And but as I said, it's humbling. Really, it's the only word I have.
And we saw some photos of you last night with something on your a wrap on your arm. Did you have a procedure done?
Yeah, I had surgery on my left elbow to repair a tendon. So yeah, that was something that I've dealt with for probably the last 2 years, a little less maybe. And yeah, eventually I spoke to the doctors, and at some point I had to get it fixed.
Yeah. Does that affect your thinking on your future?
No, it's just what it did only is it just delayed, my decision-making process. I had some MRIs and meetings with them and talks with them about, what I should do and what not. So that's the only thing I can say about that. I mean, I've said I needed time, and I still think I have a lot of time ahead in front of me, I guess, to make that decision. And I'm going to make sure that I take all that time that I need to make the right one. And that's it. So as like right now, I haven't really had time, and it doesn't really change anything, no.
Thanks, Steve. Next, let's go to Kevin Dupont of the Boston Globe. Go ahead, Kevin.
Thanks, John. Congrats, Patrice.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
If I could just pick up on a couple of things Steve asked there. If you were to play, now that you've had this surgery, how soon could you play?
It's about I want to say 10-week ish period of recovery, I guess. They say between 10 and 12. I'm hoping 10.
And you had it how recently?
I've had it what's today? This past Tuesday.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. One thing we're all going to be trying to do today, Patrice, is going to try to fit in 5 Selkes into the whole context of your career, winning the cup, the gold medals, 400 goals. I could go on and on. Where do you put it? Or do you bundle them all together? Do you think of them separately?
That's a good question. I mean, for sure, to me, the team accomplishments are way ahead, the cup, and obviously, as you said, on the international stage, like the Olympics and the World Championships and whatnot, those are amazing memories and something that, will never, I guess, be beaten, as far as like when you battle and you grind it out with your teammates. So to me, like, it's definitely as I said, an honor, an accomplishment that I really do share with my teammates. And it's special that way because, you create some bond and friendships, and there's so many people that have helped you along the way to accomplish those things that, it's nice, but it's hard for me to really put a number or even like rank them, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Kevin. Next question comes from Amalie Benjamin of NHL.com. Go ahead, Amalie.
Hey, Patrice, what would you say it is about you, your game, what you've been able to do that has allowed you to be, Selke level this deep in your career? How have you sort of maintained this over 18 seasons?
I think, obviously excuse me, the structure of the way that we play as a team, that we've played for a long time in Boston, has helped me tremendously. I think, I'll say it again, teammates, line mates. But I think positioning, trying to read plays. No one's gonna be shocked today if I say that I'm not the fastest skater out there. But I'd like to maybe put myself in a position where I don't have to, do the extra strides or the extra, I guess the waste the energy for no reason. So I think I've over the years I've gained experience, and I've got to learn to put myself in a position where I can be in the best position defensively, but also to go back on the attack and I think it's really experience over time that you start reading plays and your brain works a certain way, and I've been playing with Marshy for over a decade, so that also helps a lot, and amazing teammates as well in the backhand. So obviously Z for a while, and Charlie McAvoy, so just to name a few. But it's one of those things where it's hard to say one thing, but I think over time, over the years, it's probably more the experience and the positioning and trying to read plays, where the play is going to get to before I guess it gets there.
Thanks, Amalie. Next question comes from Dan Roche of WBZ. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Patrice, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Just a thought on kind of what you were talking about there. How much has it, how proud are you of the fact that you've got not only the 5 Selke, but 11 nominations in striving for consistency on a defensive basis? And how proud are you of that accomplishment? And has it been maybe a little bit of experience, mind, maybe knowing what to do a little bit more that's helped you along the way, especially in a season like this?
Yeah, definitely experience of mine has helped me tremendously over the years, especially as you get older. The 11th in a row is, as a player, I think you want to be a consistent player. You want to be known as a consistent player. So yeah, it is nice to be recognized that way. But I've said that many times, Dan, is that's the way I've learned to play the game, and that's the way I want to play the game. And I don't think I would have changed the way that I play on the ice, or the way that I would have done it for the last 18, 19 years now. I think I've learned a lot. So many great people, coaches that have made me a better player, obviously.
Thank you, Dan. Next question comes from Steve Whyno of the AP. Go ahead, Steve.
Thanks, John. Congratulations, Patrice. I'm curious, other than the contract situation and not having a deal for next year, you had a 65-point season, led the league in face-offs and all of that, obviously another Selke Trophy honor. What is it that is contributing to maybe an indecision on your part about wanting to continue playing?
Well, it's the fact that my whole career I've had, contract extensions, or I've had long-term contracts. I would head into the summers, I guess with that, in the back of my mind, meaning that, I know what I'm doing next year and all that stuff. And now I'm 36 and, I don't have a contract, and I can actually take a step back. And for the first time in my career, first time in my life, that I can just, reflect on what I do want, looking forward and for the future, talk with my family, with my wife. And it's just more that, the fact that I have that opportunity to do that, and just take a step back and take some time for myself, and really know what I want. And, I don't think we have to look further than that, to be honest with you. That's the only reason.
Thanks, Steve. Have time for a few more. Let's go to Fluto Shinzawa. Go ahead, Fluto.
Hi, Patrice. I have 2 questions for you. First, you look at David Krejci. He wanted to go back home last year. Is there anything that pulls you away from hockey, whether it's, I don't know, you want to travel, or go to school or start a business? Is there anything away from the game that interests you at this point?
I wouldn't say like there's one particular thing that is urgent for me to start to pursue per se. I think if there's one thing in mind, it's the family. The being there at home and with the kids. But there's things that eventually you'd want to do and you want to. But I don't think it's like one thing that's like on my mind. No.
Okay. And then also you have your situation. You have Charlie not going to be ready. Brad's not going to be ready. Grizzlick's not going to be ready. Don and Cam have said that they would like Bruce to incorporate some changes. So when you step back and you look at the situation from this year to next year, how do you view the overall health of the organization, what the team needs to do to get off to a good start next year?
Yeah, I mean, with that many guys that are and key players that are dealing with procedures and surgeries and most likely, or I think they're all going to miss some time early on in the season. So I think it's one of those things where you're going to ride the wave and I guess it comes down to another challenge. And I think this organization and this team have seen many challenges along the year, for the past whatever years, even decades. So to me, it's one of those things where it is what it is. And there's been many years where there's been a lot of doubts and question marks around the Boston Bruins and how the team's going to look and what's coming. And I think, those things are handled in time and that's how I see it. I don't think there's any, those are great players that will be back. It's not like they're going to miss the whole year. It's and again, changes and adjustments are things that you want to do from one year to the next, especially when you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish as a team or individually. So everyone has to look at themselves in the mirror and be better and find ways to be better. And I think it's easy to say, and it's harder to be to actually do it and do it the right way. So I think it's always about reflecting and looking at the state of the team for the next year.
Thanks, Fluto. Next, let's go to James Murphy. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Patrice, you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you, Murphy.
Hey, congratulations. Just wondering, I was, as you were talking there, just talking about your career and looking ahead and all that, it dawned on me that you've been playing in the NHL for half your life, essentially. And I'm sure that's kind of come up as you've been reflecting. When you think back to being an 18-year-old coming in, did you ever see it going this long and imagine things going the way they did?
Not at all. If if I recall, like my first few years, you're just happy to be there. You just want to stick and find a way to, stick around for more than a couple of years. You want to learn, you want to, be a sponge and everything is so new and incredible, really. And as the year progresses, you realize how lucky we are and how fast it goes. And you have to be thankful and appreciate, every moment. And so no, I guess I never thought that I would get this far, in the league and that I would, be able to experience so many great things.
Thanks, James. We got time for three more. Let's go to Josh Brogadier. Go ahead, Josh. Josh, your mic is open. We can't hear you. All right, let's try Daniel Richard. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oui, allô, Patrice, c'est Daniel de RDS. Je sais que tu en as parlé un petit peu en anglais, mais j'aimerais ça que tu reviennes sur c'était ta 11e nomination. Quelle fierté tu retires à chaque saison d'offrir un rendement constant, puis que tes entraîneurs, à chaque année, vont savoir à quoi s'attendre de ton rendement puis de ton jeu?
Non, c'est ça. C'est un honneur, évidemment, d'avoir eu la chance d'être nominé 11 fois de suite. En tant que joueur, je pense que la constance, c'est quelque chose que tu veux avoir, sur lequel tu veux travailler. Tu veux t'assurer d'être présent d'année en année avec tes coéquipiers, d'être là, faire partie de la solution pour tes entraîneurs, mais aussi évidemment pour tes coéquipiers. Puis d'avoir été nominé 11 fois de suite, c'est sûr que c'est flatteur. En même temps, tellement eu d'aide tout au long de ma carrière, tellement de personnes que je dois remercier pour ces 11 nominations-là, mais aussi les 5 trophées. Donc, c'est ça, c'est quelque chose que je partage avec tous mes coéquipiers dans le passé, mais aussi mes coéquipiers de l'an dernier.
Merci beaucoup, puis félicitations.
Merci.
Thank you, Daniel. And the honor of the last question goes to Mick Colage. Go ahead, Mick.
Thank you, and congratulations, Patrice.
Thank you.
Early in your career, you were nowhere near being the trigger man on a power play. Pretty far into your career, you were working at it. It looked to me like you were trying hard at it, and it didn't come right away. And I'm wondering, what was your motivation? I don't think you grew up thinking, okay, I want to be a 50-goal scorer, but this became your role. How did that happen? And because I look at it as sort of like a paradigm for your career, you sort of made changes in your career to develop skills that you thought your team needed, maybe, instead of your own, like, I wish to become this or I wish to become that. I just wondered, from your perspective, what about that? Shooting the puck on a power play, for instance.
Yeah, no, I think it's there's always things that you need to work on that you get better at, and you know, obviously the bumper position is one of those positions where you need to have a good release. You need to make sure you're able to get the shot off, even if the puck is coming kind of closer to your feet, or if, you know, the angle is not right, or if there's a few sticks in, you know, around your feet, basically, and by the puck. So find a way to get the puck off fast. So, you know, to me, it was repetition and working on it, and, you know, talking about, you know, trying to play a position that or a role that your team need. I think it's something that, as a player, that you want to do, that you want to be and become, because, you know, the ultimate goal is to win. And if there's a role that needs to be filled, and coaching staff thinks you're the better player to fill that role, well, to me, it's rewarding, and especially if it's a challenge for myself or for any player, really, to work on that skill and to prove them that you can actually do it and better the team by doing that. So it's always been exciting to me to be able to do that and to improve and to work on things that might not be natural to me.
Thanks, Mick. And Patrice, thanks so much for taking so much time this afternoon. Congratulations on breaking Bob Gainey's record, and thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.